Here, in the northern part of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, along the Yalu River, lived prisoners of war captured by the Korean People's Army and the Chinese People's Volunteers. They came from South Korea, the United States, Britain, Turkey, France, Australia, Japan, the Philippines, South Africa, Canada, Greece, the Netherlands, Colombia, New Zealand, and Belgium. This film shows something of life in these camps. There was no barbed wire around the camps, there were no fences, and the guards were few. This is the order signed by Marshal Kim Il-sung and General Peng De-hwai on the lenient treatment of war prisoners. It guaranteed 1. Security of life, 2. Retention of all personal belongings, 3. Freedom from maltreatment or abuse, 4. Medical care if wounded or ill. Every morning in good weather, the prisoners of war got 20 minutes of setting up exercises. These are South Koreans. And here are Americans and British. Now the British take their physical training seriously. Right after the morning exercises, they would go on to lift weights. American Negroes, on the other hand, favored the punching bag. South Koreans, tidying up their quarters. Everything spick and span. Pets were popular. Here's a Colombian with his singing bird. Some Britishers were pigeon fanciers. Oh, and white rabbits kept by Americans. This fountain and water wheel was ingeniously rigged up by South Koreans with old tin cans. You could shave yourself if you liked, or get a haircut and shave at the barber's. This is a prisoner of war reading room. On the average, every 250 men had a reading room of this kind. Each one was run entirely by the men themselves. Here, they could find British and American novels, such as the works of Charles Dickens and Mark Twain. Other world-famous books, fiction and non-fiction, were also available. This is Private Billy J. Holland of Fort Smith, Arkansas, USA. He was practically illiterate when captured. The member of the camp staff shown with him, a Chinese People's Volunteer, taught him to read and to write. Here, 2 men are writing home. Letters left the camps regularly for thousands of addresses in many parts of the world. Oh, and photos of their loved ones across the oceans. The prisoners of war in all camps had their own club rooms with the most varied activities. Ping pong, bridge, chess, Chinese checkers, and music on the gramophone. Some went in for wood carving and painting. Here are the painters. Ship's billiards was popular. It was played out of doors on warm days. Oh, fishing in the Yalu for catfish, carp, and suckers attracted many enthusiasts. This is an informal concert in the woods by the river. Group dancing was always good fun, and so were theatricals. American prisoners getting ready for the performance. This play was Golden Boy by Clifford Odets. There were many others written by the prisoners themselves. The Colombians are putting on a show, and the audience just loved it. My, there sure is a big crowd at this dance. All religions were freely practiced and enjoyed equal respect. These are Turkish Muslims. Cattle and goats were kept by Turkish prisoners and slaughtered in accordance with Muslim religious law. Lesser Bayram is a time for feasting. Sugar and other supplies for the festival. Turks sing, play, and perform their national dances. Christmas. War newspapers put out special issues. Even Santa Claus himself was at hand. Here he is now. Members of the different churches held their own services. And Christmas dinner, of course, was enjoyed by all. Prisoners of war who have committed bacteriological war crimes also enjoyed a free life. The highest-ranking prisoner, Major General William F. Dean, former commander of the United States 24th Infantry Division. A Korean correspondent interviews him. Here are Dean's words.
I have been very pleased with the treatment that I have received. I've been surprised, agreeably surprised, and I have the greatest respect for the consideration that I've been shown. I have greatest respect for your government. for the consideration they've shown me. My only concern has been whether the other American prisoners were being accorded the same treatment that I have been accorded. I have been assured that they were.
Dean kept himself very fit by all kinds of exercise. On October 3rd, 1952, Dean wrote a letter of appreciation to Marshal Kim Il-sung in which he said, "I take the occasion to express to you my appreciation and thanks for the kind and considerate treatment that I am being accorded by the Korean People's Army. I am embarrassed in receiving additional food and delicacies that the soldiers of the Korean People's Army who guard me do not receive. I therefore respectfully request that I be furnished only the regular ration of your army. At this time, I want to commend the officers and the guard in charge of me for their kind and humane treatment." Attacks on prisoner of war camps by U.S. planes were not infrequent. This is Suian Collecting Center. Here is the crater of a bomb that fell on the camp on July 10, 1953. This collecting center was clearly marked in accordance with agreements. South Koreans marking the graves of 5 of their fellow prisoners killed by U.S. bombs on July 10, 1953, only 17 days before the armistice. All camps had medical facilities. This is one of many hospitals specially set up for prisoners. A hospital ward. An X-ray room equipped for fluoroscopy and photographs. Fitting a plate in a dental department.